Okay, guys. So this is another entry from my video diary. Last night, I had a revelation about karma. Karma is one of those systems that it's almost like a cone, like a puzzle. Um, like an equation that you gotta it's gotta come out even. So I had this revelation about karma, and a lot of people um you sort of like ditch karma because it doesn't make sense to them, because there's a lot of good, decent people suffering in the world. But with karma, a lot of people misunderstand it, um, because karma is personal debt. It's personal. So like personal debt, personal ignorance that we carry from generation to generation until we break the chain. And 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 it's not the impersonal environment. So like two people can be born into slavery, right? One with like good karma and one with bad karma. But the slavery, is the impersonal environment created by, so like history, created by civilization, created by mankind in the present moment, like mankind in total. Or like two people can be born into like a hurricane, and one with good karma and one with bad karma. And it is not the hurricane that is the reflection of their karma. The hurricane will happen. The hurricane's got its own path. The hurricane is a system separate and independent from karma. Karma is personal debt. So let's say karma was actual hard debt, like money debt. Two people can be born in a hurricane. One whose family is well-to-do and has no debt. The other one whose family was like, bad family, has lots of debt. They're both born in the hurricane. The hurricane is a system apart from karma. Karma is a very personal system. You understand? It's personal. And so if you find yourself born in Africa, so like drought and stuff, it has nothing to do with your karma. It's just the environment. The drought is a system apart from karma. Politics, war, slavery is a system apart from karma. Karma is personal debt, but not in terms of money, in terms of like ignorance, in terms of like giving up, in terms of lack of faith, in terms of lack of schooling, lack of faith, in terms of running up money debt as well, in terms of not paying your money debt. Those things follow generations after you're gone. But the other stuff is like, wow, we'll try to traverse our karma by, maybe joining the Vichy government, joining the Nazi party, joining the corrupt group in the Senate or something. It never works out. Those systems, because of that, if they are successful, those systems collapse because they take on too many individuals with too much karmic debt, and the systems collapse. You understand? So that's how personal karma can impact other systems that are not karma systems, like political systems, economic systems, even the environment. Because those systems, political parties, maybe financial companies, take on individuals with too much bad karma and they collapse. Because bad karma has to do with ignorance and not paying your debts. You understand? And it's very personal system. So the system that keeps its hiring, its recruitment standards high. Only the honest, the smart, trustworthy, and promise keepers, those systems will flourish. And the systems that are desperate and will recruit anybody, even the dishonest, the ignorant, with a lot of karma, personal karma, those systems will collapse. And that is karma. Regarding Martin Amos's populism, you know what populism is? Those people, obviously, he mentions George Bush and Donald Trump. Those people obviously very bright, but they use populism in place of a higher form of communication. Populism is a substitute for theater of the mind, and in order to have theater of the mind in those spheres like business or war, you both have to be creative, visual, with facts. So a lot of times, what they do is they, without that type of expertise, they settle for sort of like populism. Populism is like a scapegoat, finding a scapegoat, a public hanging, that's populism. People want blood, you get them when you get people, so like you get, people understand you with their minds, but they'll vote for you with their hearts, and populism, one of the things populism does is it looks for a scapegoat, and people want a public hanging. They like that kind of stuff. But it's because even though, these people are very bright, they have something to say about national security, terrorism, or business, how to do business honestly. They lack the creativity to get that message across for people who are not business people who are not like national security experts, So they resort to sort of like populism instead of like a theater of the mind, imagine it. With all the data we have, imagine if the world was like this. And will it go that way? Is the world really limitless opportunities? Limitless sort of like manifestations and consequences? Not really. I love books, science fiction books, fantasy books. Those are alternate realities on other planets. And what they always have to say about this planet is usually that it's burnt out, it's gone, it's a forgotten time, it's fallen into ruin. You know what I mean? There's only one reality at this very time. With all the players involved, there's only one reality. And all those fantasy books and all those science fiction books, what they always had to say about planet Earth is that it is reduced to rubble. And the alternate realities happen elsewhere. So populism, people resort to it because they in their minds they are convinced they are right, but they lack the ability to get that across from people who are not like them, who are not like business people themselves, who are not generals or military people themselves. That's why you kind of need art in society. The artist that agrees with it and the artist that do not agree with it. Get those ideas across in terms of movies and music videos and stuff like that. Which is better than populism, which is really just seeking a scapegoat for a public hanging. You pick, and it's not always ugly people. Sometimes it's beautiful people. Don't pick. How cultural trends will turn against beautiful people. Sometimes cultural trends will turn against ugly people. Sometimes cultural trends will turn against poor people, and sometimes cultural trends will turn against rich people. But populism is always looking for a public hang of scapegoat. Instead of creating a theater of mind, using just facts, you know. Okay, so that's the problem, populism. But obviously Donald Trump is the business president. And what does mean business president? Like I told you in my 2-minute MBA, a lot of people without MBA think you can do whatever the hell you want in business. And maybe you really can, but you shouldn't. And that's basically what Donald Trump's saying. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but you really should not. Because he's president now, that means he represents the people. He says you can do you might be able to do whatever the hell you want in business, but you should not for the people. It will come back to bite you on the ass. You think, oh, we'll just keep it to Toronto? No way. Then I get out of Toronto. I'm going there and there and there. Because if you can't hold on to your money because you're stupid, I want it.